Nityanandam. With all auspicious blessings of my Guru, His Holiness Paramahamsa Nityananda, I welcome all of you to today's video. So in today's video, in the series of Sannyas, I wanted to share one thing which I came across yesterday. So there was a news, normal news, that was also circulated on Facebook about a 24-year-old, basically he's a pedophile, and he's from Malaysia, and there was a case about him, and so it's about that. And I was just thinking, the headline was stepfather, father something, stepson. That was the headlines, and then it says. Then I was like, oh, that's interesting, and I saw the age is only 24, and the children, the stepchildren, are only about 7 and 11. So this got me thinking that, see, we always that got me thinking, like, this is why sannyas. So that is what I wanted to share with all of you, which is we always know, we have been coming to awareness about this thing, which is what is the impact of our older generation, the older generation parents, basically our parents and their parents. What we know, what is the impact of it, what kind of a next generation they have produced. But what is the current generation of parents meaning the current generation of young parents? Basically, this generation of parents, like young parents, are from the 80s and mid 90s, this kind of a age category it is. What is their impact as parents? How are they bringing up their children is what I've actually been thinking. Like, because around me is always devotees who are single and sannyasis. But exactly how are they living? Like, how do people in their 20s who are married, who have children, how are they actually living, and what is the, because all this while when it comes to, like, when I was studying, we always know what is the impact of our generation of our parents, what was the impact of their upbringing. But when I was seeing people of my age who've got married and they have children, what is the impact of the generation of parents on today's kids? So that is when I realized, yes, that is why sannyas. Because see, we as I'm talking about this generation parents, of how even they were brought up. So we've always been, not always, generally it's a collective thing where we don't know who we were, why we were born, what is actually life. We were not taught how to cognize life, what is actually the truth about life. Forget about life, we don't even know the truth about ourselves, and what is the purpose of our life, and why are things happening around us the way it is happening. So how do we cognize it, how do we deal with it, how do we handle it, who are actually people in our life, what is the purpose of existence of people in our life, what is their role in our life. All these basic fundamental questions we have never been. First of all, some of us, we don't even have this basic question for many reasons, and some of us, even despite having this question, either it gets suppressed or it just disintegrates, because such questions are never being cherished or entertained or encouraged or celebrated in the society. So that was how we were brought up. See, one thing I realized was the way how, with Swamiji's teachings, the way how he taught us was, your inner space, micromanaging your inner space is basically it boils down to that. Your inner space can be a prostitute where it just cognizes left, right and center without even awareness, completion or integrity, or even bringing integrity, nothing of that sort. It's our inner space that matters. But apparently out there, since we were brought up, one of the things that are deeply exploited and even we don't know about it is our inner space. Prostitution is not something that happens externally, but something that happens internally, where the core of you, it's being exploited left, right and center, abused, neglected, and like you just cognize whatever you want in your life without even having the adequate knowledge. We've always been illiterates. This modern day and age youths and even modern day and age young parents, we have always been illiterate about the knowledge of life. And people when we say that we want to know that about the knowledge of life, people think that now we have become something else. We are something isolated, or we need to be isolated, or we have become something different. We have become like almost a taboo, even if not in thought, even if not in action. In thoughts it is. Like if your friends, if they've been so successful and or so much mingling in your kind of a group, and suddenly they'll be like, so what is life all about? I want to know about the truth of life. Then you'll be like, oh, now he's that. The taboo comes in your head, the isolation happens in your head, so it doesn't need to necessarily manifest as an action. So with all that is happening, especially with the way how the 80s and kids of the 80s and 90s who were brought up, and how they are actually becoming really a failure of parents. To those who are not yet married, save yourself, is I want to say. Now you can ask, yeah, all whatever you said is fine. Some of you may not even cognize with what I'm saying. That's okay. But some of you who cognizes this, you may say, yeah, all this is fine, but what's the solution? Now one thing is, the problem is exactly you. Where all this is fine, it's not fine, first of all. And second thing, when someone is saying it out, just saying, yeah, all this is fine, but what's the solution? Because it's not only me, one person. I've known like a few people who have also been speaking about this to their family. But yeah, all this is fine, but you just have to get your degree, that's all. And someone who's from the outside, like a sannyasi who speaks about it, yeah, all this is fine, what's the solution? The solution can happen, but you needn't be there, because you're with this kind of a context, you're basically arrogant. That's basically arrogance. And second thing, there is a solution. It's ferocious rebooting. Why will we want to choose to conform to the way how everything is there in a society? See, it's like a net. The society itself is like a net. You cannot just say, oh, I will bring up my children with homeschooling, so that will be out of the traditional schooling. No, you yourself don't even know what is life. What do you mean by saying that when you homeschool a child different? It's not. It might be a different way of breed. She'll be a different breed. He will be a different breed of the future. It's not going to be something different or something exactly what you want. And same thing of all this while, the traditional way of living has been like, so you do your degree, you have to do your degree, you have to do only science stream, or you have to become only a doctor, engineer, whatever it is. You basically, these days parents, they even tend to have like, they have this so called awareness of like, so let my child do whatever she or he feels like doing or wants to do. That's fine, but what is actually influencing the child's decision to become what he or she wanted to do? Why he or she wanted to take up something even as an education or even as a career? It is all a net. In the end, there is still hypocrisy of the society that influences your decision, which you think is out of the box, or that you think is disconnecting you from the garbage of the society. It's not true. The only solution is rebooting. Like, for example, if there's a bowl of food, a big platter of the same food, and at the edge of it there is fungus. Now, will you choose to remove that fungus part and eat the rest of the food, or dump the whole thing? That is exactly society. That is exactly what you have to do. Ferocious reboot. Now you may ask, how do I ferociously reboot? You cannot run riot there. Nobody, first of all, listen. Second thing, you're going to be failing. But ferocious reboot is discarding, disowning, renouncing, dumping, even renouncing all of this, renouncing, dumping the very thought current they have brought you up with. How? Sannyas. Sannyas is the only solution, the only way you're ferociously declaring that you're ferociously going to reboot. You're ferociously asking for a reboot, because it is not that only when you throw away the food lifestyle that they have, or the kind of a dressing lifestyle, or maybe some of you as family, you do not wear jeans. That's completely fine, but there are other parts where you're still saying yes, and even you don't know about it. What about those things? So the only way, seeing the hypocrisy, and when you decide that you're going to just change a little bit. Yes, it is society. A part of society is now coming to an understanding that a majority of it is already a hypocritical lifestyle, but therefore it's only taking very, very consoling solutions. Like, even when it comes to education, oh, I will homeschool my child, I will put my children in private education, this Montessori school, and when it comes to food, I'm going to give my child organic food. I'm not going to give them the way how we have been brought up, those kinds of things. But look at it, somewhere you're still in the grid, you're still stuck to the grid, you're still in the matrix. You will not get, it's not even possible to get out of it. If you think you can, I'm very sorry to break it to you that it is not possible. The only way is sannyas, a ferocious declaration of reboot. Renouncing means renouncing this, because the moment you decide that yes, I'm going to take the jump to get out of this hypocritical rut, sannyas, you will see it as a beautiful, open, clean slate for you to rejuvenate yourself, recognize yourself, rebuild yourself, learn everything back from scratch with conscious understanding of why you are doing the way you are doing, why you are living the way you are living, and how you want to live life. You will be taught the science of it with Swamiji. That is, when I was thinking about this, I realized this is exactly what happened to me. A few things that happened in the past were just before, about a year before I took this decision, where I realized a lot of hypocrisy. Things that I've cherished so much, like people in my life that I've cherished so much, or never thought that something wrong could be with them. I'm not saying that they are bad people. They're good because their intentions were good. That is what they knew. But seeing the hypocrisy, they themselves don't know it's hypocrisy. It is just a blind spot, and it's a disastrous blind spot which I saw. That is when I realized this is not the truth. Yes, my mom, she was a good person. She was brought up with a good context, but there was a big blind spot that I saw, which then I realized this can't be true. Same way with many things. Started with my family, to relatives, to people around me, to what the society thinks about things, the way they cognize things, their perceptions about things. I realize to them, they don't know that it is a blind spot. They don't know it's a hypocrisy. But when I realize it, I need to do justice to my conscience. That is when even the opportunity of sannyas appeared in my eyes. Until then, despite knowing Swamiji for 6 years, until that year, I never knew there is a thing called sannyas as a lifestyle that I can have. So with that, I wanted to share this with all of you. It was a explosive thought that I had yesterday, seeing that news and then where it went. So I wanted to share with all this news to all of you, and share this thought current with all of you that I had. And if you relate, please comment below. If you don't relate also, please comment below. Let's have a conversation down below in the comments. And yes, the sannyas initiation, the intake into the next sannyas batch is happening on October 15th. So it's a good time for you to wrap up everything. Come here. Please do write to me, ma.purna@nityananda.org, if you want to take up the lifestyle of sannyas, because there's a little bit of a procedure, and I'll definitely be part of you to complete the procedure, and then to see you here on October 15th and receive your initiation into brahmacharya. So until then, see you next time. If you want to know more about Swamiji, please go to the website nityananda.org. If you want to know about the Inner Awakening program, please go to the innerawakening.org website. If you want to actually follow Swamiji's daily updates, please like the Paramahamsa Nityananda official Facebook page. All the links are down below. And also Swamiji's discourses on his own YouTube channel. It's if you type on the YouTube search engine Nityananda, or youtube.com/LifeBliss Foundation. You yourself can go and watch what does Swamiji speak about sannyas, what does Swamiji say about what is reality, what is truth, what is life, what are you, what is the purpose of your life, and why sannyas to you. Until then, see you next time. Thank you, Nityananda.